What's up, guys? It's Adi Mags here. How to overcome corn addiction. Well, first, let's get into the negatives. Why should you stop consuming degenerate material and beating the meat? Well, there's been heaps of studies that showed that when you do indulge in these activities, it activates the same part of your brain, that reward system, that dopamine hit. When you compare it to someone doing heroin or other drugs, it activates that same addictive part of your brain when someone's doing drugs, and then you get that dopamine hit. So it's kind of like a drug when you nut to corn. And I like to give this analogy or this situation to kind of just showcase what a weird and disgusting thing we all like participate in, whether we are aware of it or not. But I like to say this: what's the natural act of when you do nut? Like, what's the normal situation that actually happens when you're with a woman and you're starting a family, you're having kids, right? So you're doing that sex act so you can have kids, you can start a family. That's like the natural way. But then all of us are watching pixels beating off and nutting into tissues. How is that productive? How is that a productive act? Like, what does that even achieve? And so that's when the whole dopamine hit comes into play, because in nature you're rewarded for passing on your genes. That's why it feels good. So it encourages people to continue the human race and pass down your genes and all that stuff, that the nature, animal stuff. Animal Planet, Nat Geo, I don't know. But if you're just nutting in a tissue looking at pixels, it's nothing productive about that. You're getting that dopamine hit for doing something depressing, watching two people do it while you just sit there. Like, that's disgusting and honestly really sad. And if you can't see that, you're just coping really hard. But we've all been there. It's a hard pill to swallow, because a lot of us have been doing it for so long that we just don't realize how much damage we're doing to ourselves, because we've been indulging in this lust for so long. And so I hope, like, hearing about the studies and just thinking about it logically, like, I'm doing literally nothing productive but getting the dopamine hit, and I feel like crap. So when I do feel good when I nut, and then like I feel crap like 5 minutes later. So you're just like on this vicious cycle, and that just sounds like every other drug addict out there. You know, like, they're on heroin, they feel great, and then they have that high, and then they crash. And I learned about this in school, like how drugs work. Like, you have the high and then you have the low. You can't just feel good for free, like just like cheating the system. Fortunately, that's just not how the universe works. It's got to come from somewhere, and the way I look at it is that happiness, that feel good emotion, the feel good chemicals in your brain, that comes if you're doing that by cheating the system, by just nutting to pixels or doing drugs, comes at a cost. You didn't do anything productive, or you didn't accomplish something, you didn't achieve anything. You're getting it by cheating the system. It's going to take that happiness from your future self. It's got to come from somewhere. And so that happiness you're getting right now, that instant gratification that you didn't work towards getting in any sort of capacity, in any challenge or accomplishment, it's got to come from somewhere. And so it comes at a cost, and it comes at a cost at your future, because you're using up that energy, time, resources, life essence that your future you could use to actually accomplish and take steps towards achieving their goals, and instead you're just squandering that energy on nothing. It doesn't go towards anything. And so those are some of the negatives. Let's get into how do we make some steps in trying to make improve our situation? And firstly, you don't have to go cold turkey. You don't have to quit straight up. Just quit forever. You know. First, let's identify what's triggering us. What's the common motif in us giving in to our lust and our desires? We're always in front of a screen. That's number one. We're always online looking at something. We're constantly being bombarded by this degenerate material everywhere. You name it, right? And it's not until we acknowledge and be aware of what we're seeing and what's actually happening that we can actually make a change. So we're aware that we see it and come across it all the time, whether we're swiping, watching a show, movie, whatever it may be. They're in there, you know, not in everything, but we stumble across it and we're bombarded with it. You might not realize it, but it's in your mind subconsciously. And so if you're going through and you're seeing all these baddies and you're giving into your lust by saying, oh damn, she's fine, or I would, all these comments, right? You're basically like fantasizing about this random person and doesn't even know you exist on pixels, bro. Pixels. It's kind of cringe when you think about it. And at least for me, my personal experience, I was addicted when I was a teenager, early 20s. It's only now that I'm actually, it doesn't negatively impact my life anymore, you know? So we've identified how you come across this stuff. Now we can understand that let's try and do our best in avoiding that sort of content if possible. And if we do come across that content swiping, you got to like almost reject it. No thank you, hand up, physically and mentally guard your psyche so you're not giving in to your lust. Because every time you give in, you're getting weaker and weaker and weaker. It's chipping away at you. Because it might not be the first time you stumble across it that, you know, makes you want to get the incognito tab open. But after the 20th one, it slowly chips away at you. And since you gave in every single time, you're just weaker at actually defending yourself. And you're a lot stronger than that. And I know you are. So don't let it get to you. And if you do, you know, again, back to the point of you don't have to go cold turkey. It's all about baby steps. Use the journal and just count how much times you do this stuff in a week, and then just try and reduce it by one, you know. For example, if you do it 7 times a week, just try and make 6 times a week, and just, you know, baby steps, try and make some steps, progress. And don't be too hard on yourself if you do fail that number that week. There's always next week, you know? Because remember, for a lot of us, we've been doing it for 5, 10 plus years. It's going to take a long time to undo that damage, undo that, how much of a hold it has in your life. It's become a part of your routine, your habits. It's a negative habit. And if you've seen my past videos, you understand journaling and positive and negative habits and identifying all that and using journaling as a tool to improving your life. So that's why I made those videos first, because it creates a good foundation on how to actually improve other areas of your life. So if you're interested in that, there's a lot of journaling videos. I've got a playlist. But back on the corn. So we've identified it. Now we've got to work out a way to, like, methods and strategies to avoid that sort of stuff, or how to deal with it. If you are feeling tempted and you think you're gonna, you know, give in to your desires, you just got to step away from the screen. I know it sounds basic and dumb, but sometimes the simple ideas work best. And if we're all on the screens and that's why it's happening, like, you know, we're opening up the incognito tab, we're always in front of our phone or the computer screen, just backing away, doing something else physical, outside, go for a walk in nature, get the fresh air. Like a switch, you're not shackled to the computer or the screen. Like you're that weird like grasp, that weird grip it has on you, on your attention. Just go for a walk, even just back away, you know. When I mean back away, I mean just go, just walk around, you know, just leave your desk, or just put the phone down. read a book, anything, and you'll be surprised at how much of a difference that can make, especially working out, you know, because you got a bit of energy, a bit of stress. Working out will relieve that. And yeah, Bob's your uncle. Like, subscribe for more videos like this. I hope that helps. Stay tuned for more. I'm gonna keep posting some shorts. I'm gonna do some editing and some interesting content you'll see in the near future. Thanks for all the support, and I'll see you next time. Peace.